Hi guys, a very good morning. So let me deal with this matter about Chamisa Kasukuwere because there is a question. Chamisa Kasukuwere has been disqualified to run as a presidential candidate in the upcoming 2023 elections set for 23 August. So this matter was in between Lovedo Mangwana versus Chamisa Kasukuwere, Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, and the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. And it was before the High Court Judge, Mangota. And it's 7 and 12 July. Those are the dates which this matter was in court. So Advocate Uriri and Mubaiwa were representing the applicant, who is Lovedo Mangwana. Advocate M. Ndlovu and Advocate Mtero were for the first respondent, and Mr. T.M. Kanengoni for the second respondent. So what I'm going to do, because this is too long, I'm just going to deal with certain parts which I feel that they are important. So the introduction, as I said, or as I mentioned earlier, Lovedo Mangwana filed this application through the agent chamber book, and he filed it in terms of Rule 59.6 and 107 of the High Court Rules 2021. And he was seeking the judge to grant him a declarator and the consequential relief. And he premised his application on Section 85.1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Zimbabwe, as read with the Section 23.3 of the Electoral Act, Chapter 213. So his suit was against Chamisa Kasukuwere, whom he cites as the first respondent, and also against the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission and the Minister of Justice. And his issue was mainly that he insisted that Chamisa Kasukuwere had stayed out of Zimbabwe for more than 18 months, and these are 18 consecutive months according to him. And he says, as such, Chamisa Kasukuwere has been removed from the voters' roll and cannot continue to be a candidate for the 2023 elections. He based this on Section 91 of the Constitution of the Republic of Zimbabwe. So this is what the matter is based on. Then Chamisa Kasukuwere, in response, he cited 5 key things. He says that the court does not have jurisdiction to hear and determine the matter, and he says the application is one for review, which is disguised as a declarator. He says that Mangwana does not have what is normally referred to as the locus standi in judicial, which means Mangwana had no interest or was not supposed to be hearing, to be pursuing this case. He lacks what can I say? He lacks the right to pursue this matter. Then he says Mangwana approached the court in terms of an incorrect law and in an incompetent forum, which means he approached the High Court, and Kasukuwere says this matter was not supposed to be before the High Court. And he says Mangwana violated the principle of subsidiarity. So this is what Kasukuwere, these are the main arguments of Chamisa Kasukuwere. But the judge went on to give a verdict because this is, as I said, or as I mentioned, this is a very, very long ruling. It was well explained, and he says that on the date the application was heard, counsel for Mangwana moved me to admit into the record the amended draft order, which he attached to the answering affidavit. He advised that the motion was with the consent of Kasukuwere's counsel. The letter confirmed the same to have been the case. The amended draft was therefore made part of the record, and it replaced Mangwana's original draft order. I heard and considered the case of both parties. I am satisfied that the applicant proved his case on a preponderance of probabilities. The application is accordingly granted as prayed in the amended draft order. So what this means is that Chamisa Kasukuwere cannot continue to be on the ballot paper, and Zimbabwe Electoral Commission did not oppose this application, but they just admitted that they will just abide with the court's decision, which means if they are told to remove this name from the ballot, that is what is going to happen. The issue here, is on the final issue here, on the disposition. If you read this, the judge clearly states that the Kasukuwere's counsel and the applicant's counsel, they agreed on a particular draft order. They agreed on an amended draft order. What it means, if they agreed on an amended draft order, it means if the judge simply noted that amended draft order and gave a ruling based on that draft order, which both parties, the legal practitioners of the applicant, the legal practitioners of the first respondent, if they agreed on a certain particular draft order and the judge simply used that draft order, it shows that Kasukuwere might have reached out to some of his comrades. This is now my own analysis. Might have reached to some comrades, or the comrades within the ZANU-PF camp might have reached Kasukuwere to say, Kasukuwere, can you withdraw? But can we use a tactic for you to withdraw from this election so that we settle this matter in a different way? We do not know the actual facts, because what is important at this moment is the survival of ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF considers its survival more than anything else, which means they would have reached to Kasukuwere, or they might have reached to Kasukuwere, discussed this matter, and got to an agreement. I'm raising that because of this particular disposition of an agreed amended draft order. So what it means is Kasukuwere can no longer be on the ballot, but he says that he's going to appeal this matter on a higher court and probably in the Supreme Court or the Constitutional Court, because another argument is that this matter was supposed to be before the Constitutional Court, because this is a presidential election dispute. That is another argument. So, Team Zimbabwe, this is what is happening right now. As I said in other episodes, we cannot rely on ZANU-PF fights. We cannot base our campaign or anything on ZANU-PF fights. Let them fight their own fights. Let them fight their own battles. But let us continue to focus on the bigger picture. The only effects of this kind of ruling is on the candidates of Triple C. And remember, there is a court application by ZANU-PF where they are saying certain Triple C candidates are not eligible for this election. They might just use the same to say, you are not the only person affected. Xavier Kasukuwere was affected as well, so why are you crying foul? So all those issues, we need to consider them. That is the reason why I said earlier, we can't celebrate this, because this is an attack on the judiciary. This is an abuse of the judiciary itself. So this is it, Team Zimbabwe. I've given you my views. I don't know what you think about all these things, but myself, I'm saying, let us focus on the bigger picture, that is winning elections for change. Nelson Chamisa is our candidate. Let us win Zimbabwe.